Hello and welcome to another video. In today's one, we're going to be looking at some early reviews for the brand new tmnt Mutant Mayhem movie. Now, on Monday, there was this festival called Annecy Festival that basically revealed quite a few new movies and gave the audience an early advanced look at the movies. Now, with the Mutant Mayhem movie itself, it was an unfinished version of the movie, so with these reviews, while they are very positive about the movie, they may not actually be accurate to the full finished movie. But I think, besides that, I think that these reviews are probably accurate just because it was nearly finished. Now, these reviews were really interesting to read just because, if not all of them, I feel as though that all the ones which I've read were very positive about the movie itself. And I haven't really read any negative ones about it just yet, but I wouldn't be too surprised if I do go online later tonight and I do find quite a few negative ones. So I will be looking out for those, but I will be really interested to hear those negative ones, just because, you know, it's really interesting to get a good perspective of if the movie's going to be good or bad or not. But judging by these reviews so far, it does look as though things are going to be really great. Okay, so the first one comes from Ryan, and all these ones came from Twitter, so this is honestly a little bit interesting and wouldn't be too surprised if a lot more do come out from the movie itself. So Ryan says that just saw an unfinished cut of Mutant Mayhem, had so much fun, could watch these characters hang out for hours and hours. 2 ATCQ needles drop made me happy. So yeah, I must admit, going off straight with a really great review saying how much fun it was, it really gives me a lot of hope. And I must admit, reading further into all these reviews is really getting me more excited. So yeah, let's read on, shall we? Okay, so going into the next review is from Ryan Grobbins, and with this review it's really interesting just because they do talk a lot about the sound, so I might look into them a little bit later, see if they enjoy sound, music or stuff like that, because I do find their review really interesting. Okay, so here's what I have to say. So much awesomeness to take in with one viewing of the newest tmnt film. I need to rewatch it at least one more time. The art was amazing, the soundtrack was on point, the sound design was great, and the writing was hilarious. So yeah, I must admit with this review, it does sound really great, and again, it's really getting me hyped up for this movie, with how many great things they're saying about it. And I must admit, I'm really surprised that I do talk about the sound for this movie, just because with tell movies, you don't really get to hear so many people talk about the sound, the music and stuff like that too often. So I am quite interested to hear why they're talking about the sound, and I'm really interested to hear the soundtrack for the movie as well, all the music, so that's really interesting. However, I don't know if this person really likes music and stuff like that, so I'm not exactly too sure if they really focus on the music stuff, so yeah. Okay, the next review comes from Midu, and they say, crowd reaction, Ninja Turtles, teenage years, tmnt Mutant Mayhem was so funny, the movie is awesome, with great references, and I can't wait to see the finished version again. Okay, so this review is really interesting just because they do mention references. Now, this is something which I was somewhat curious to see in the movie, just because with this version of the Turtles, they're taking off inspiration from the 87 tmnt TV show. So I'm really curious to see what kind of references they're going to be making. Will it be a lot of references to the comics or be the 87 TV show? I'm really curious about that. But I must admit, if they're already referencing some of the references, then that's somewhat interesting to see. And also, again, they do mention how funny it is, how great it is, and again, it's getting me so hyped for this movie. Okay, the next review comes from Michael B, and they say, can't wait for more. They could. Imagine giving their Twitter shitpost millions to make a hard PG-13 tmnt film. Sent my head into a spiral with how many surprises and nice sketchy animations there is. Can't wait for more. So yeah, I must admit, with them already mentioning the PG-13 thing, that is somewhat interesting, and I must admit, this is something which I'm really curious to see how they're going to handle in the movie itself. If it's going to be, you know, somewhat a bit dark, maybe have mature tones, dark tones and stuff like that. I'm quite surprised they do mention the PG-13 thing, but again, that's somewhat good, I guess, and they do mention the animation as well, with nice sketchy animation. That does give me hope just because the animation looks really great, and I can't wait to see a lot more of it. Okay, the next review comes from Nitro Spidey, and they say, special potential. The fact that an unfinished cut of Mutant Mayhem is receiving such great reviews several months in advance is a sign that Paramount is confident as hell in this movie. We may have something very special on our hands. And yeah, I must admit, this is something which I did want to bring up quite a bit. And yeah, this is something which I really do want to go into quite a bit, just because I did find this really interesting, just because it wasn't too long ago before The Flash did something like this, and the audience reaction was mostly good, I want to say, and there was like a few little negative ones in there, but it's mainly just like giving like little criticism. But with this one, there's been nothing but good reviews so far that I've seen. And I must admit, this does give me a lot of confidence that Paramount does have a lot of confidence in this movie being very good, and does give me a lot of hope that this movie will be very good and really great, and could lead on to much more, which, oh my god, that could be really great. And yeah, I do find that really interesting that they are really confident in this movie to do something like this. Okay, the final review comes from tmnt. I'm pretty sure I said that wrong, so sorry, but they say, I came out of a session of tmnt mutant mayhem. Graphically, it's a great success, with a very pronounced style that, despite some overly detailed shots, come across perfectly. A future gem of animation from Paramount and Nickelodeon. And yeah, I must admit that's really great to hear that they're also talking about the animation, about how good it is. Again, that's giving me so much hope for this movie, and especially about the animation. And I want to hear like, more people's opinions on the animation that I've seen this movie so far, just because even though the animation looks really good so far with what we've seen, I'm so curious to see like how other people like thought of it so far, just because even though it's good, like, you know, the movie itself, there might be a little bits in there that may not be as good as the trailers and stuff like that. So I'm just very curious to see like what people think about it. But I must admit, with all these reviews that have come out so far, talking about how good it is, it does give me a lot of hope for this movie. And if these reviews are anything to go by, it does give me a lot of hope for this movie for being really good and stuff like that. And I just can't wait to see what they actually do with this movie. And I must admit, I'm really curious to see more reviews come out, and I do want to see a few negative ones, just because I don't see like some negative things before we go into the movie. And that's not really necessarily trying to say that I want this movie to fail or anything like that, but I do want to see like some criticism before we go into the movie, just so that I know what things not really to look forward to, if that makes sense. Just so that I don't get my expectations too high going into this movie and things to be really great. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about all these reviews? Does this give you a little bit more hope for this movie? Does this get you a bit more excited? So yeah, let me know in the comment section below, because I'm really curious to hear what people have to say about all this. But yeah, that's it for today guys. If you do some, please share, like, subscribe and all that stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.